The UK media's obsession with the royal family. The UK media's relentless coverage and criticism of the royal family, particularly the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, is a clear indication of their desperation for ratings and sales. Rather than focusing on issues of substance and integrity, these outlets seem determined to sensationalize every aspect of the royals' lives, often resorting to dishonest and misleading tactics. The media's obsession with the royals' charity work and fundraising efforts is particularly telling, as they seem quick to criticize when the royals charge for events or activities, but remain conspicuously silent on the extravagant costs of royal state dinners and the like. It's a clear double standard that reveals the media's true motivations: to generate controversy and sell stories, rather than to hold the royals accountable or serve the public interest. The royal family, for their part, seem all too willing to play along, using their celebrity status to raise funds for their causes, even if it means charging hefty fees. It's a symbiotic relationship that benefits neither the public nor the integrity of journalism. The UK media would do well to redirect their energy and resources towards more pressing issues facing the country, rather than continuing their fixation on the personal lives and financial dealings of the royal family. The media's lack of integrity. The UK media are desperate to sell newspapers or boost their ratings, even if it means blatantly distorting the truth or outright lying. This lack of integrity is especially evident in their relentless biased coverage of the royal family. Rather than report fairly and objectively, these media outlets seem determined to spin every story in the most sensationalistic, anti-royal way possible. Whether it's fabricating scandals, invading the family's privacy, or shamelessly attacking certain members, the UK press has shown a complete disregard for journalistic ethics when it comes to the royals. Their sole motivation appears to be generating outrage and controversy, no matter the cost to the truth or the individuals involved. The royal family's questionable practices. The royal family has been engaging in similar tactics to the media in order to generate revenue. William and Kate, for instance, have charged high prices for people to attend their events and even to play polo. In 2014, they charged a staggering $50,000 per couple to attend a dinner in New York. They also charged $84,000 for the privilege of playing polo. These exorbitant fees demonstrate a clear disregard for the public and a desire to profit off of their royal status. While the royal family may justify these charges as fundraising for their charities, the high prices effectively exclude the majority of the public from accessing these events. This kind of behaviour only serves to further alienate the royal family from the people they are meant to serve. The media's double standards. The UK media's blatant hypocrisy and double standards when it comes to the royal family are simply astounding. They mercilessly criticise the Sussexes for their fundraising efforts and charitable work, yet turn a blind eye to the extravagant and costly events organised by other royals. Just last year, the New York Post reported that the royal family was receiving massive donations from American donors, despite skimping on their own charitable causes. Meanwhile, William and Kate have been known to charge up to $50,000 per couple for a simple dinner event, and even $84,000 to play polo. The media's selective outrage is nothing short of absurd, as they conveniently ignore the lavish spending of certain royals while pouncing on the Sussexes for their philanthropic endeavours. It's clear that the media's true motivation is to sell stories and get ratings, regardless of the truth or integrity. Perhaps they should focus their efforts on more pressing issues, like the Epstein scandal involving other members of the royal family, instead of constantly harassing and vilifying Harry and Meghan for daring to forge their own path. The Sussexes' philanthropic efforts. The Sussexes are legitimately raising money for their foundation, Archerwell Philanthropies, to support their important charitable work. The media should not be concerned with how the Sussexes earn their income, as long as it is done ethically and transparently. Harry and Meghan have every right to generate revenue to fund their philanthropic initiatives, just as other members of the royal family have done. The UK media's obsession with scrutinising the Sussexes' financial affairs is nothing more than a desperate attempt to sell stories and drum up controversy, often at the expense of facts and integrity. The public should focus on the Sussexes' meaningful contributions to causes they care about, rather than getting caught up in the media's petty squabbles. The media's obsession with the Sussexes. The British media's relentless pursuit of the Sussexes is truly puzzling. Even though Harry and Meghan have stepped back from royal duties and relocated to the United States, the media just can't seem to let them be. It's as if the media have an insatiable need to remain a part of the Sussexes' lives, even when the couple has made it clear they desire privacy and independence. This desperate clinging to the Sussexes' story is not only intrusive, but also lacks any real journalistic integrity. The media should respect the Sussexes' wishes and leave them and their young family alone to live their lives in peace. Their constant harassment and distortion of the facts is doing nothing but fueling an unhealthy obsession that serves no one. It's time for the media to move on and focus their attention elsewhere, rather than continue this misguided quest to be a part of the Sussexes' circle. The royal family's excessive spending, the media's fixation on the Sussexes' personal lives has distracted from the more pressing issue of the royal family's lavish spending on state dinners and other events. While the tabloids gleefully report on the Sussexes' philanthropic efforts, they turn a blind eye to the astronomical costs incurred by the rest of the royal family. For instance, in 2014, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge charged a staggering $50,000 per couple to attend a dinner in New York, and an even more outrageous $84,000 to play polo. These exorbitant fees are not only out of touch with the financial struggles of the average Briton, but they also raise questions about the priorities of the royal household. Rather than focusing on sensational stories about the Sussexes, the media should shift its attention to holding the royal family accountable for their excessive spending and ensuring that taxpayer money is being used responsibly. The media's lack of empathy. The British media's relentless attacks on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are truly shameful. Rather than showing empathy and respect for their decision to step back from royal duties, the media seems hell-bent on wishing unhappiness, poverty upon them. This cruel and callous attitude is deeply troubling, especially considering Harry's decades of dedicated service to his country. The media should be applauding the Sussexes' efforts to forge their own path and support important causes through their Archerwell Foundation, not trying to tear them down at every turn. It's time for the UK press to show some basic human decency and let this family live their lives in peace, instead of constantly stirring up unnecessary drama for their own selfish gain. The public deserves better than this media-fueled spectacle. We should be celebrating the Sussexes, not condemning them. The media's hypocrisy. The media's blatant hypocrisy when it comes to critiquing the Sussexes' fundraising efforts is truly astounding. While they mercilessly scrutinise Harry and Meghan's philanthropic endeavours, the same media outlets conveniently ignore similar, if not more extravagant, practices by other members of the royal family. The Cambridges, for instance, have been known to charge exorbitant fees, up to $50,000 per couple, to attend their charitable events, yet the media turns a blind eye. This glaring double standard exposes the media's true motivations: sensationalism and clickbait over genuine journalistic integrity. It is high time the media holds all royals to the same standards, rather than selectively targeting the Sussexes simply because they have dared to forge their own path. The British public deserves honest, unbiased reporting, not this shameful display of biased, agenda-driven coverage. The Sussexes' right to privacy. The Sussexes have every right to their privacy and should not be forced to provide the media or the public with constant explanations about their lives. As private citizens, they are entitled to maintain their personal boundaries and live their lives away from the glare of obsessive media coverage. The UK press in particular should respect the Sussexes' wishes and cease their relentless attempts to pry into the couple's affairs. Their focus should be on holding the royal family itself accountable, not harassing the Sussexes who have chosen to forge their own path. The public has no legitimate claim on the Sussexes' time or personal details, and the media's attempts to portray them as owing something to the UK are misguided and lacking in integrity. The media's negative impact on the royal family. The media's obsession with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and their lack of integrity have had a profoundly negative impact on the royal family's reputation. Instead of focusing on more important issues facing the country, the British tabloids seem desperate to dredge up any dirt they can find on Harry and Meghan, even resorting to dishonest and unethical reporting tactics. This incessant scrutiny and criticism not only undermines public trust in the monarchy, but it also distracts from the real work the royal family should be doing to serve the people. The media should leave the Sussexes alone and instead turn their attention to more meaningful matters that truly deserve coverage. Constantly harping on Harry and Meghan's personal lives and business ventures only serves to further damage the reputation of the entire royal institution, which the British public deserves better from. The need for change. The UK media must change their approach and focus more on addressing the royal family's own issues with honesty, integrity and respect. Rather than sensationalising and distorting the stories of the Sussexes, the media should hold the entire royal institution to the same high standards. It's hypocritical for them to scrutinise Harry and Meghan's charitable efforts and revenue streams when members of the Windsor clan have charged exorbitant fees to attend their own events. The public deserves transparency and fairness from the media, not petty attacks driven by personal agendas or the desire to boost ratings. The Sussexes have every right to build their own philanthropic legacy outside the constraints of the palace, and the media should respect their choices instead of constantly trying to drag them back into the fold. It's time for a new era of responsible, ethical journalism when it comes to the royal family.